People sometimes ask me, "Why are you still doing this?" And, some people think, "Well, do you have to still do it?" No, I don't have to still do this. I said, "Why I'm still doing it? Because it still moves me forward. I still see the changes, but even more than that, I see the need.
Hmm.
The longer I've been in practice, the more I see distressed families. Back in, 20, 30 years ago, people would come in and maybe one child would be on the spectrum or one child would have health issues. Now parents come in with 4 kids that all have health issues. I
That's
think it was,
true.
what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, the Department of Health and Human Services that 54% of the children in the United States have chronic diseases. That's insane. 54%, that's more than half the kids back then had chronic diseases. And we're saying that your child has a 1 in 2 chance of coming to the planet unhealthy or being unhealthy.
Right.
I said, that's absurd. So this is the kind of thing that keeps motivating us. That's not okay. That's not okay that half the children that are born, and I'm sure the number's
Hmm.
higher now, are unhealthy and are going to live unhealthy lives.
Hmm.
That makes no sense. So therefore, we need a different paradigm. We need a paradigm shift. If you watch TV, if you see ads, it's always about have this symptom, fix it with this drug. Have this symptom, fix it with this drug. It's okay to have it. How do you spell relief? Whatever it is, and that's not a paradigm we want to keep growing into. And I think it was in the year 2000, and you can double check this, that it's the first generation of kids that were born that the life expectancy isn't necessarily higher than their parents. So the life expectancy is decreasing because of the amount of disease processes that they're struggling with and dealing with. And that's another reason why we keep going. We want to push that envelope.
But think about over the 45 years of teaching and practicing all the changes that have happened. And you look at how many things that people thought those were the right things to do. How many diets have come and gone.
That's
And
true.
but I think the number one thing that we can stay with is adaptability and resiliency. And that's really what the nervous system is.
And
That
individuality.
Yeah, but that is what it is. It's like we will not know what our children will face. There's no way that we can prepare them. I know every parent does that. Well, if I did this, maybe this will
Mhm.
be this. It's like you do not know what the world is going to be like
Right.
for your child. But what you want them to be able to do is
It's
to
being
adapt,
adapt.
is to
Yes,
be
yes,
able to
yes.
adapt and have the resiliency and the confidence that they have what it takes to meet the occasions of their life. And that's what we're really hoping to create. When we don't have a model of what your child is supposed to be, we don't have a model of
Hmm.
what of your human potential, we really have no idea. But we know that the nervous system is what adapts us to the world. The nervous system is what gives us resiliency. Can I meet the occasions? Can I meet what life is going to ask of me? And I think that's what we're all about.
But I think that's a really great point. Adaptability is the answer. Increasing adaptability. I had an example with a patient who brought a child in with genetic defects, congenital genetic issues. And one of the first things I asked them, and I asked a lot of parents, is, "What is your expectation here?" And mom looked at me and said, "My expectation is give my child the greatest chance to reach their full potential, given who they are and how they came onto the planet." And that was amazing, and had nothing to do with me. She had found me,
Mhm.
and that was her. And that is really a chiropractic paradigm. We don't know what you're brought onto this planet with. We don't know what those underlying structures or tissues are working with. What we do know is that we have a skill set to make them as adaptable as possible and to increase the threshold of not only adaptability but functionality. That's the whole idea of clearing out a nervous system, is
Mhm.
increasing the threshold
Mhm.
for which that child can adapt. It's like when a child seems really healthy and happy at home, and then they go to school, and all of a sudden their entire behavior and their nervous system changes because they can't adapt.
They have a
They,
lower
they
threshold,
have a
right?
lower threshold, they can't adapt, so they have to be in a closed environment. Well, if we can open up that child's adaptability,
Right.
then they can socially interact.
And the windows that we can read that through are things like the primitive reflexes, their milestones. We can read,
Neurological
yeah,
testing
yeah.
that we
We
do,
we we can we can see what they're telling us, and then we can find ways
and we
to
can
support.
track it
Yeah, and find
and see
ways
how
to
it
support
changes.
them. So we're very excited about our second book. We're also very excited about Peak Potential and the programs that we're offering. We hope that you'll join us. We'll hope that you'll be part of this movement to increase the adaptability of our children by learning this map to actually read their nervous system.